Hello friends and hello student. My name is Ashok Sijala. In this session we learn the dynamic two-dimensional array in C++ language. So yes, first I share my laptop screen and here fix the position so you can watch better way my video lecture, and here Turbo C++ I double click and take some process, and now yes is open. Alter F file menu and taking new file, and here our call. So write a program to uh, print dynamic, yes, so dynamic matrix. Okay, because 2D array is also matrix array, so matrix uh, elements, dynamic matrix element. Write a program to print dynamic matrix element sum. Okay, so we can also sum of that element. So what is a dynamic? Yes, so we can use the new and delete operator. So that is a memory allocation operators memory. So yes, first I start our include. Let us check the 2D array. So 2D array is also known as a matrix array. So metric element sum. So dynamic, yes. So let us start. So IO stream dot h, and then we can say that conio dot h, and then our class, and that is a, I give the name as a matrix. So like in, we can also after that metric multiplication operation is also in 2D array. So yes, I define the 2D array. So two asterisk sign, that is a pointer, because we have to use new and delete operator. So memory allocation operator. So yes, that we can define this, and then also we can take like I and that is a I and j. Yes, I j, and we can print also sum. Yes, so I take some variable. So yes, now our first default constructor. So yes, I initialize like all are zero. So I, j, and that sum initialized zero, because sum is always zero. So that garbage value is gone, and ij is a counter variable. Iteration means that. Okay, so that is our, and now matrix. Yes, so here we can two parameterize constructor. We cannot inside, because we can allocate the dynamic memory, and that is required for loop. And for loop we have to not take inside the member function in inline. Inline is a rules violation, because inline is not supported any loop inside that body of that member. So here we can outside that two parameters. So here two argument, yes, just declaration, and then void get array. We can scan that dynamic array, and then void put array, print also that array. Okay, so now let us check first our two parameter constructor. So there is no any return data type, then class name itself that name, and then matrix, yes, that two parameterized integer like a and integer b, that is our row and column. Okay, so yes, also we can take row and column. So R and C. Yes, let us check, because ij is a counter variable, and that we can initialize. So that not giving the here default constructor is zero. So here R equal to A, and then C equal to B. Yes. Now we can define the our X. Yes, the new operator, and then integer and asterisk, and in bracket we can take the 2D array. Yes, so that is a row is allocate, that statement, number of row dynamically allocation, and now turn to number of columns. So I equal to 0, I less than our row, and then I plus plus, because index start with 0, you have to know very well in 2D or 1D array. So x of I, and now column apply to each row. So that is also dynamic. So yes, and then bracket, I pass the column. So that statement is a number of row allocate dynamically, and that statement every row allocate the column dynamically. So here two new operator is used. Okay, so that is our two parameterized constructor. Okay, and now if we use the new operator, so we must be use the delete operator. So here I use the destructor matrix, and there is a we have to know class name itself name is a constructor and destructor, but a tilde sign here prefix is a tilde sign, and there is no any argument because destructor is not overloaded, so no any argument. Constructor is overloaded, like here is a default constructor to parameterize copy constructor and dynamic constructor also. So here we can define the dynamic some part. Okay, dynamic constructor also we can say that, because we can use new and delete, and now here we can use the delete operator because that dynamic and bracket and x we can delete it, so that all memory is a release. Okay, now what to do? So now we can scan like our get, so matrix, yes, and then we can use the get scope resolution and get array. Okay, so here we can scan our for loop as it is our like for, and also print the message. Yes, so enter means 2D array elements. Yes, that type of message, and end L new line, and then for loop. Yes, so for and parenthesis I equal to 0, I less than row, and then I plus plus, then yes, nesting, second for loop, 2D array is 2 for loop for scanning and printing. So j equal to 0, j less than number of column, and j plus plus, and we can also print the index. Yes, so C out, yes, that is in double quote x and bracket, and then output double quote and output we can print I, and then again double quote close bracket and start new bracket and print the j, and then again double quote and print the bracket and semicolon. That is our input time. We can scan the index, and then x of ij, that is a we can like we can like with 2D array x of ij, because here 2 that is dynamic array. Now we can also print the subscript because that is a allocation memory at a runtime. Yes, that is our goal. And here we can, after one row is successfully, we can provide the handle new line. Okay, and just I copy this all pieces, that is a scan. Now we can print this, so that is a printing. Let us check. So here we can put array. Yes, just change our member name and not enter word, so just 2D array element r, yes, that word. And here we can also printing time print the index, and let us I remove the get ch and that print, and one yes, here output and one blank I print, so all element is separate print, some one blank is read. And then yes, first I save this file. So 2D and dynamic, yes, so 2D array dynamic, yes, that meaning. So dyn underscore, yeah, dynamic 2D array, that meanings. Okay, so that is our file name. Okay, okay, now we can take our main function, and after we can sum also that element, but first we can scan and print perfectly. So yes, here we can pass the row and column, so R1 and C1, and also you can print means A and B also. So here we can scan, enter rows and columns, and then C in R1 and C1. Okay, that is scanning. And now matrix, that our M1 object we have to create and pass R1 and C1. Yes, then m1 dot get array, that is member function, and m1 dot put array, yes, that is printing, and then get ch, yes, that finish, yes. So only one object. We can also, you can take the multiplication two object. That after I get next my upcoming video lecture, I cover the multiplication of the array. That is a possibility. So yes, now the dynamic array, yes, let us check. First I save, yes, and compile. So yes, what is here? Okay, semicolon is remaining. So that is giving the error. So yes, now all are well, perfectly. Okay. So let us check. No any error, no any problem. So let us check. I run and give, like, that is our choice. We can pass any. So I give simple 2 by 2 matrix. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that scan with index and print with index. So that is a 2D array very perfectly. And let us check 3 by 3 or any odd also possibility, because here there is no any hurdles. So first 3 by 3. Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, that perfectly, no any problem. So that is a dynamic. Yes. So and now we can take sum. Yes, here we can take the sum variable. So what? Yes, here we can scanning time, also here printing time, no problem. So here we can take the sum of that value. So scan time we can also print, and put time we can also print. So here first we can print for sum variable. So uh, summation is or n, that print sum value. Okay, and here we provide the slash n and semicolon. But how here we can possibility, and here is also, here we can provide like sum uh, plus equal, because sum equal to sum, and then x of ij. Why I can give here in scanning time? Because if you provide here, so here we can take the brace, and here already brace in inner for loop, so directly I take here. So here we can inner for loop not take any brace opening closing, so as it is remaining same. Yes, so let us check. So now yes, no any error, and let us check that print. So I give 2 by 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, so some garbage value is there. So what happened? Yes, so yes, we can already provide the that means initialization is 0 is there. So how its garbage value is print. So x of ij. Yes. So yes, let us check how it's. If not, and here also, but not required. Let us check. So default constructor, yes, here we cannot call the default constructor. So that giving the garbage value, because we can initialize is a sum in a default constructor. So that 0 is not possibility. So yes, there is no worry. So here we can, in entry time, we can provide the sum equal to 0. So all garbage value is gone, and let us check that perfectly work or not. Now 2 by 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that perfectly. So like 1, 2, so 3, 3 plus 3, 6, and 4, 10. Now let us check. So 3 by 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, 45. So that perfectly print. So what is problem? So here we cannot here, yes, so default that two parameterized constructor directly we have to call. So that default constructor is not run. So if you, yes, so because we have to pass the row and column, so that is a not important to initialize anything in default constructor. So I just remove. Yes, here no requirement, because that not perfectly, because that directly on two parameterized constructor call. So here is that, because we can take the here dynamically row and dynamically column. It's every row. Okay? And we can default constructor is automatically call. So yes, that and also let us check some all odd element. So how odd element is there? So means number of row and column is distinct, like 3 by 2. So yes, 3 by 2 means row is 3 and column is 2. So yes, 1, 2, yes, one row is finished. 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is 21. So you can also chance any row and column because that is our control. So we can pass any number of row, and that type of dynamically row and column initialize this dynamically constructor here we can define. Okay. So we can row and column taking from user side row and column AB, and then initialize dynamically row and initialize dynamically each row to column. Each row to every column is also dynamically. So here we can 2 times use the new operator because that needed. Okay, so yes, I print sum. You can also take like minimum value, maximum value, that time also possibility. And then after multiplication of 2D array, transport metric, symmetric metric, all metric operation, inverse metric is there, null metric is there, so many definition is there. So after this session, you can apply your own logic. So yes, that is a dynamic array and print that element sum that complete our goal. So yes, I write this program to your C++ notebook. So here we can take the dynamically construct the 2D array dynamically. Okay. So yes, that is a dynamic constructor. We can say that for new and new operator use, and destructor we can delete operator use here. And that get data, yes, we can sum also, and then put data, yes, here printing. And here we can also here we can printing time, let us say Alt F5. So here we can print the index in print time. If you also print the metric format, yes, how it prints, let us check. So just this sign you have to apply, yes, not this but this. Okay. And here I remove just index. Let us check how it's look. So I remove the index in printing time, put array. So yes, here and here and L before we can provide this sign. So double quotes and that sign. Okay. So let us check how it's print. So yes, semicolon. Okay, no problem. Yes, only semicolon is remaining. No any error. Let us check. So 2 by 2 square matrix. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So that is a like look like metric format we have to print. Some is we already done. Okay. And before one blank, yes. So here we can, here is already provide. So here before, yes. So that is a provide the blank because here is a blank. So here is not require any blank because here is required. So let us check. Now I give 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, so 3 by 3 row column and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, yes, 8 and 9. So yes, that perfectly look is metric, square metric 3 by 3. So that is a metric format we can also apply to 2D array because that 2D array known as a metric array, and all metric operation like multiplication, addition of 2D array metric, and subtraction, then multiplication, transport metric, inverse metric, null metric. So many definition is there in maths. So you can also use that C++ programming. Okay. So I also take some video like multiplication, addition, or then after null, inverse metric, symmetric metric, all are definition one by one taking. Okay. So now, yes, I just give the metric format how to print, and now that our main. Okay. So now I close because that we can apply all testing, and that is dynamic array construct the metric. Okay, metric 2D array. So metric is a two-dimensional array is known as a metric array. So now I close this Alt F3 function key and quit. So yes, subscribe my channel Ashok Srijal Academy, press the bell icon to never miss any update. Thanks for your watching, supporting and sharing my video lecture, and Hare Krishna.